Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another ride video. Today I want to discuss a little bit of maintenance, and I want you guys to chime in and drop some comments below of what you do to your wheels to keep it in good condition. Do you service it? Do you take it apart? Do you check the bolts? Do you lubricate the pedals? Do you clean the rims? Do you what type of filling do you do in the tires, and so forth and so forth? Filling. Do you use slime or don't you use slime, and stuff like that. I just want to go over my basic maintenance that I do on my wheel, because it is pretty basic. You know, if you keep your wheel in good condition, then it will serve you pretty well. It needs very little maintenance, and this is the nice thing about this. If you compare this to an electric mountain bike, where all the stuff starts wearing out, it's really totally different. But I'm going to put the wheel on the stand, and then you can I'm going to walk around and I'll explain to you what I do on my wheel to keep it in good condition. So let's get started. Okay, so here I have my S22. This is currently my my main wheel. Don't really have anything else. I do have a one wheel XR that I really love, but for long distance smashing it out, this is pretty much the boy that I do and take on the riding. So firstly, give me some feedback what you guys do when you get a new wheel. Do you lob in slime or don't you use slime? I've been very lucky, and all of my wheels I have not used slime, but this is pretty much because the trails and stuff that I ride, there's almost no thorns. I've not seen any thorns, so I don't use slime. I actually bought a bottle of slime, but I haven't added it to this wheel yet. So my plan is to add it to this wheel, and also the other thing that I need to check, and this is also part of the whole maintenance thing, is to make sure that my tire is inflated, because after a while, specifically if the wheel is standing, it's always good to make sure that the tire is inflated and it is at that pressure that you like and is comfortable to you. Because the thing is, if it's too hard, it might be that the tire runs too much on a sort of edge, and it can give you wobbles. If it's too flat or too low pressure, then it can be sluggish. So you need to find that that really nice mid ground where it works for you. And every wheel is different. What I do with my wheels is I look on the side of the wheel. There's a recommended pressure, and I usually go for the minimum. I don't know where this is now. I think it's on there. It's a little bit dirty, the wheel, but there's a recommended pressure on the side of your tire, and it's always good to use the minimum as a starting point and then work from there. So or deflate or inflate, but don't run it too soft, because then you get pinch flats if you hit curbs and stuff like that, or roots or stuff like that, or if you if you do jumps and stuff, and you basically the tire pinches onto the rim, and that's not good. You can also damage your rim. So that's sort of the one thing on the tire. Give me some feedback of what you guys use. Then I clean my rim. I've got a little brush that I brush down into the rim, so to keep that clean. Moving a little bit up, I sort of usually take these bolts out here, and then take the pedal off, clean the pedal out, and then make sure I put a little bit of grease on there, or just rub it down with some WD-40 or whatever, just to keep that fine. And it's also good because the thing is, when you do the checking, you can see this little screw here, the grub screw that keeps the pedals, that rod from sliding out, needs tightening, because they also get loose over time and they start coming out because there might be Loctite on there, but sometimes the Loctite wears out or whatever for any reason. So just check these things. It's good to take them apart and learn how to take the pedals off. It's always a good idea. And then just make sure that it is nice and it moves freely. The other thing that I also do is make sure that the fender and stuff is all clean here in the front. Make sure there's nothing in between the fender and the tire, that it doesn't rub anything. And I do keep my sliders and stuff clean. I've taken the wheel apart probably about 6-7 times to clean the sliders. As you can see, the slider in there, that channel there, maybe you can see better on that side, that channel in there. It's always good to keep that clean. You don't have to take the wheel apart to do that, because that is a bit of a massive job. It's heavy, the batteries is heavy and so forth. But yeah, the other thing that I do is I go grab some Allen keys and then I tighten all the little bolts. I've got the little side fairings here from Grizzla on, so I can fit the Grizzla pads. So I just make sure everything is nice and tight. All the little screws there with the gaskets, so forth. I make sure everything is nice and tight, especially on the top as well. Just give it a little twist, a tiny little twist. You don't want to over tighten the stuff, because that can actually cause damage. Because if you tighten it too much and it strips the screw head, or it strips the screw, or the thread breaks, and then you're sitting with all sorts of trouble. So the other thing that I also do is to clean the shock out. As you guys can see, the shock is very dusty because I've been riding on a dusty road this morning. But make sure I sort of note down my settings for my shock. It's always good to make a little note of the shock settings. Let me just quickly tilt this thing up. It's always good to make a note of the shock settings for yourself, really, so you can start fiddling around with the rebound here at the bottom, and then also the compression. Is that compression? Yes, compression. So how quickly it goes in and it supports you, and also the tightness of the spring. As you can see on the top, there's that ring. That ring you can turn down if you're a heavier rider, so the spring is more compressed, or you can loosen up for a looser ride. I'm riding it on the stock, as you guys can see. That's pretty much it. The compression, I'm sitting in the middle between the clicks. You can count the clicks from one side to the other, and then go to halfway. And the same for the rebound. I'm running rebound in the middle of all the clicks. At the back, keep this bolts and stuff tight. Make sure that it's all clean and so forth. My wheel is not clean, so it's not a good example here. But this is what I'm going to do today, is to clean the wheel out and just make sure everything is tight again. You see, like this little screw here, I don't know if you guys can see that. Don't want to go too close, because otherwise but that little screw looks like it's been a little bit stripped, and that can cause a problem, because if that strips more, then you are stuffed to get that thing out. You have to grind it off and then knock it out. On the seat, just like I actually installed some what do you call it, washers here at the bottom. Let me just turn this around. I've installed some like washers between here and there, and also on the top, so that makes the shock run a little bit smoother. I think this is all been sorted in the new S22s in any case, so that shouldn't be a problem. What I do is, when I start my cleaning, is I do wash the wheel down with not so much a pressure washer, but just like spray water, but the wheel is upright and I spray downwards. So I don't cover the wheel on the top. I just spray the bottom areas, the wheel area, the tire, and just so make sure everything is nice and clean. But yes, and then everywhere where there's a moving part, a little bit of WD-40 or GT86 as a little lubricant to keep the moisture out, because that is what we suffer here from in the UK. And then the wheel is pretty much done. Make sure everything is up and running. After you're clean, go for a little ride, just clean the wheel out, you know, dry the wheel out. Sometimes as well, when you wash a wheel and there's water stuck somewhere, it's always good to go for a little ride to actually get rid of the water. And then also it allows you then, when you store the wheel, that water doesn't pool somewhere and it maybe causes rust and so forth. But yeah, that's it. Super simple. You know, if you compare this to an electric mountain bike or an push bike, it is super low maintenance. You just need to make sure everything is still looking and running in good condition. And then if you want to go further, you can strip the wheel, take the bearings out, the rollers, clean each roller, and then put them all back. That is a big job. I think it's probably going to be an hour to 2 hours of work. Depends on how dirty the wheel is, even longer. So you have to put some time aside to actually get that done. But yeah, as you can see, this wheel doesn't have a lot of mileage on. I think the wheel is sitting at around 1,500 miles. So it's fairly new compared to other riders, but it's still in good condition. You know, yes, if you do fall, if you do have a big tumble, when you do get home, and just check out the wheel. Just make sure you check it out, you know, in some sunlight or light, so you can see if there's any cracks on the pedals and whatever. You don't want to be riding on your next ride and then the pedal actually breaks off and then you fall even harder. So yeah, it's always good to double check these things. Okay guys, I hope that little quick rundown of what I do to keep my wheel maintained helps someone and what to look out for. There's many other things that you can do. You know, I've seen the guys' wheels, they actually look pretty brand new after a lot of miles because they are super on top of it. And but I use my wheel and it needs to be able to go to work and back, and I'm not going to clean it every day after a ride. You know, if it's really wet, I try and store my wheel always in a dry place, indoors and so forth. When I do charge the wheel, I make sure that I charge it while I'm at home, and if I'm not at home, then I don't leave it on the charger. So I unplug it, shut the wheel, turn the wheel on, and then turn the wheel off. Because I did find, I don't know if you guys has got exactly the same thing, but when you charge the wheel and you just unplug the charger, the wheel shuts down. You want to get past? Okay, it's pretty busy this morning. It's first time probably on a weekend where we've got the weatherman said there's going to be good weather, so it is. Everyone is out. Every man and his dog is out. So just to finish off the video, you really require very little maintenance on these things. But yeah, as I said, if you do fall, please just make sure that you check the wheel. You know, sometimes the pedals can bend and you don't see it after you've come off on the wheel because adrenaline is pumping and so forth. Just when you get home and settle down a bit, just check the wheel over and just make sure that all the bolts and all the arms and stuff and the pedals are all still good and there's no cracks and stuff, because you don't want to have a cracked pedal, go out for a ride, or even a bent arm or cracked bolt or whatever that is taken that knock, and then you are falling and you're coming off. So it's not ideal. So yeah guys, that is pretty much it. Super easy. Let me know in the comments below what you guys use to keep your wheels in good condition. And also let me know if you guys use slime or recommend slime. It's always good for new riders, if they do find a video about maintenance, that all the comments below that people can use it. You know, it's the more you comment on the video with methods what you use, products as well, drop it down below. It's super helpful. Now I've got a little hand brush as well when I use some soapy water. It's all these little tricks, specifically if you're riding in a lot of dust or a lot of mud. I've got a to clean between the tire and the mud guard, I've got a radiator brush. So here in the UK, for our radiators on the walls to keep the house warm, we've got a brush that's got like coarse bristles, and it's like, it looks like a big sausage, and you can basically stick that in between the tire and the mud guard, and it basically scrubs all the mud and stuff out. So it helps a lot, you know, specifically if the mud starts caking on and it dries out a bit and you can't get it out, and it starts making a grinding noise and all that lovely stuff. It's perfect to actually just push this thing through, and it just brushes out the whole fairing, because you can't get the fairing out, you know, you have to take the wheel apart, and you don't want to do that. So okay guys, any comments and questions and stuff and tips and tricks that you do on your wheel, please drop some comments below. For all the guys that do watch the video, and if you do find the channel and you do find this content to be helpful, I've got many other videos, mostly ride videos, and please think about subscribing. It really helps the channel grow and sort of helps the algorithm so more people can actually see it. And if you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. You know, it's always helpful. Again, it sort of just helps sharing out the video and the content to people. You know, there might be people that is brand new to EUC. This is not, I don't make videos just for the mid rider, because I class myself as a mid-level rider. But you know, for new riders, it's always good to find new videos and new people riding. I love exploring and commenting on people's videos. And yeah, if you don't like the video, just skip to another video. I actually don't understand why people would give a thumbs down. But hey, can't be that bad. Okay guys, hope you have got a lovely day, and I will see you on the next video. Look at this, it's just all the lambs are out. Loads of little lambs next to the canal. And you know, the sun is shining. There's a little wind that's blowing from behind now, and man, it's 1 degree outside. I thought it was going to be nice and warm, but it's not. Okay guys, now I need to stop the waffle, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Cheers.